Alrighty, enough of that. Hopefully this is going. Whoever's here, let me just make sure. You know, I don't know this is actually going to YouTube. It says it is, but you know, you never know. You never know. Oh, it says I'm going live. You know, I thought I had to pay for this thing twice, but it seems to be going at both YouTubes. That's awesome. That is awesome. I hate having to choose. So this is should be going to the AIX DSP channel and the Pipeline Audio channel. Okay, let's see. Should be going. Let me just, sorry, one more. Just gonna check. Full screen. Oh, why am I still hearing that? Wow. Okay, looks good. Charlie. Charlie from the Horny Toads. He's either, be awesome if you were joining us on here. I see your messages, but, either he's going to be mad at me about something I said in the studio because I said all kinds of crazy stuff in studios back in the day. That was me. I'm nuts. And I probably... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's actually very cool. Okay, sorry. I was talking to somebody very cool, man. You know, there's never enough native blood in metal, even though there's a band called Native Blood. But there was a lot. You know, it's kind of a neat thing that if you were worried about minorities, they were pretty well represented in metal, and it didn't seem to really matter. But you could always use more. And one of the coolest things in the world was that, you know, these reservations, the Native American reservations in the continental United States, somehow are just full of metalheads. So much so that people from around the world thought it was their duty as a metal band to go play a show on the reservation. And, you know, it's hardcore. It's pretty brutal. But, you know, it's it was real. We had a couple bands that would come down from the reservations from time to time, and when they went to play shows in town, like the Jar or whatever, they would rent out some school buses, and I mean everybody came. Their moms, their grandmas, whether they're in the band or not, they all came down, and like you couldn't believe the kind of support. You know, maybe this is their first show they ever played, and they come down, and they'll be well represented. And this is if you ever get the chance, check out a band called the Horny Toads. It was an Arizona band. Awesome stuff. Just heavy, but killer. So yeah, I was just talking to Charlie as we're starting up. He was a guitar player in there, and anyway, hopefully he'll come onto the screen. I can. Oh, hey Noriko, I will be answering whatever comes up. I got a couple things. This is gonna be kind of a shorter. Well, I keep saying they'd be shorter lately, and somehow they end up longer. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, what Welcome to Dropping in at Pipeline Audio. This is number 89, the Beta Blues. Okay, let me pull up some stuff. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that more, Charlie. That's you guys. This band, the Horny Toads. You guys got to hear them. It was a long time ago. They didn't get it out there that far, but apparently lately they've been playing it on the radio in a couple different reservations on the mainland of the United States. So. Some good stuff in there. You want to hear native voices in metal? That's the the drummer. Sorry. You want to hear some native voices in metal? That's the and that's the thing. Like, especially Arizona, we were pretty well represented by native bands. Hawaii not so much, but we got some. We have some. So anyway, I want to show you guys. For you guys, I don't talk about our company very much on here, but I'm gonna right now because we do have some for you guys that are already have our plugins and stuff. We have some beta versions out of the Multi-Bandgate and of the Intuition compressor. Let me turn this off so we can see some stuff here. So new Multi-Bandgate version 1.1.5 should be what is that? What do you want me to post, Charlie? Sorry, I'll get to that in 1 second. Oh yeah, so I could actually give you a link here. Hopefully this isn't gonna pop Facebook out of where I am. Actually, yeah, I better not mess with that. That's actually kind of terrifying. I'm going to post a link in the Facebook comments. If hopefully this will work. Let me see. This one. So is it that, or do you mean actually what I what I said back in the day? And I'm sure I meant it, man, when I heard you guys. Nobody has ever come into the studio as unprepared, but with that much power. And, man, you want to talk about controlled anarchy. You hear about it in the studio sometimes. You know, they talk about just all this energy and how in the world are you going to capture it. And these guys brought it. It was pretty awesome. But anyway, let me, before I totally forget what I'm saying, we got a beta version of Multi-Bandgate out that I need you guys to try out because it seems to install okay on Catalina. You know, we have constantly going through that fight with Catalina. Seems to be validating in Logic okay. So if you guys are using Logic, let me know if it's actually working. Let me know if you need to get up on our Slack or just catch me on any of these social media or whatever. I'll send you that beta. This one has one of the other things is not just that we've got some dealing with Apple's artificial gatekeeping. I know I'm going to take some crap for saying it that way, but whatever. If you check it out right here, you can actually choose for the detector source MIDI, audio, or both. And that's just so that if you have like a really tricky hit and you can't you can't get it to detect properly, just drop some MIDI notes in and send them to that track, and it'll open according to that MIDI hit. You can actually choose the note in the channel right now. We're gonna add some more MIDI stuff. I don't want to get people too crazy excited, but there will be more MIDI coming. The other one is Intuition. Intuition is up to 1.1.5 as well, and in this case, it should validate in Logic. It should pass. You should get onto Catalina if you have the Catalina problems, and I'm not sure, but for sure, Multi-Bandgate actually added some OpenGL options, so you might be running a lot less CPU now. Not that it ate a lot before, like it's not using anything, but actually, let me turn it on before I say that. It really isn't using much anyway, but we do have OpenGL available. You can turn it on. It's off by default. Still trying to catch some things on PC, which is again why I need you guys, your beta testers, to flog this thing and beat the crap out of it to make it. We'll figure out what works and what doesn't. But Intuition, you should be having no trouble with it. And we have this new mode here, FUG. I think you guys can figure out what that's going to stand for, because this is kind of in response to one of Glenn Fricker's videos. Glenn, if you're out there, this is for you. He had a video called Greatest Kick and Snare Trick Ever. And what he was doing was running a parallel dry feed alongside a compressor out of phase. Oh, man, you pedants are going to kill me, right? Out of polarity with itself, so that when the compressor acted, it would have a difference, and that would be what shows up. So you're actually hearing the action of the compressor. So if you want to do it that way, like they showed in this video, check it out. So this is just barely working. I don't know how much good of an idea this is to be doing this while I'm actually playing. Oh man, here comes. So I'm gonna throw some snare track here, and we're gonna hear it in a second. Hold on, let me make sure I got it in the right place. So this is just gonna be a kind of a snare track with some drums and stuff on it. Hi-hat bleed. Unfortunately, this is a very good studio drummer, so there's not all that much hi-hat bleed or anything, but there's still some. So I'm going to show you what this is about. So I'm going to lower the threshold. I'm going to crank the ratio all the way up. Peak detection. Let me see. I'm just going to listen to the snare. So I'm going to look for that peak of that snare. I'm guessing here. You guys kind of know where the snare is. I could put it a little bit lower, but I'm going to be chancing getting the kick frequencies in there as well. So get out of key listen mode. Yeah, 1 second. Yep.
Oh, why am I hearing your stuff in the headphones out there?
Check which headphone box you're plugged into.
The one for by the drums.
Check of the 4 outputs. Check which ones you're plugged into.
Like the first one. Where like.
And 1 and 3 is me, right? 2 and 4 is out there. So make sure it's plugged into 2 and 4. So there you go. This is headphone troubleshooting, which you got to know your routing. Really got to know your routing. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I mean everything's going live all the time over here. So I'm got the ratio up. I'm gonna pull the threshold down, turn it into regular compressor. Just slamming the crap out of it, right? I'm gonna get the attack on there even faster. I could do some look ahead here. That's probably gonna be terrifying in live use. But if I put this in FU blend mode, so what you're hearing there is the difference between the you got one path that is running normal, just dry, not even being messed with, and then its polarity is flipped, and then it's playing alongside the compressor signal with normal polarity. So whenever there's a difference in the action of the compressor, that's when you get that gating effect. And so, or that's when you actually hear audio, because otherwise, when there is no compressor effect, you're not going to hear anything, because you just got a signal and its exact duplicate out of polarity playing together. And then, of course, you would hear nothing. And so if you want to do that trick like he showed in that video, Spectre Sound Studios' greatest kick and snare trick ever. That's this will let you do it in Intuition. And again, though, guys, I need you guys that already own Intuition. I need you beta testing this. So let me know. If you're not an Intuition owner, whatever, you can still beta test this thing. Just let me know. Need some more testers, which is bizarre, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. back in the day, it was such an honor. I hate being the guy saying it now, but back in the day, it was such an honor to be chosen, even being allowed onto a beta program. Like it was so cool. And now it's like it's hard to get anybody interested in doing it. It's crazy. I just don't have enough beta testers. Whereas before, you had to fight them off with a stick, and I don't know. Maybe people don't like my stuff. I don't know. But just come on. I need some beta testers. And, oh, God. I guess this is one of those get off my lawn things. Let's see. Okay. So now in troubleshooting, we just had Jack just came in here because the routing, let me see if I can actually show. You have this picture of the routing here that kind of tells you which headphones are going to which outputs and stuff. I mean, it's just not the most complicated routing in the world, but it's still tricky. And so, even if everything's working, sometimes you end up having to troubleshoot because you got to figure out where that path is, what signal that you think is going someplace isn't actually going there, and how to get it there, and everything. That's just your basic troubleshooting. Is just picking when everything's actually working. It's still troubleshooting because you have to figure out where things are going, why things are going. But I've got another problem. For some reason, I'm getting almost like the USB wheeze in the headphone amps, and I went and made myself. Boy, it's really nice when it's one of those things you'll never find around town back even when they had Radio Shack or whatever. But Neutrik makes a really, really nice cable end female tip ring sleeve 1/4 inch. And so if I make a XLR to 1/4 inch like that, I can walk around anywhere and test headphones, right? Or headphone sends. The way I'm doing the headphones in here, I'll have like the Y cable, two cables going out into one XLR, one 1/4 inch, or one cable is going to do the left side, one cable is going to do the right side, and they're going to be combined into an XLR that's going to carry the stereo signal, but it's going to be unbalanced. And then that guy can go down one regular mic cable, just easy, and go to, in this case, a headphone snake, and then from there comes out and goes to get adapted back out to another Y cable to, headphone amps or wherever it's going. And, I'm getting the dreaded USB wheeze kind of sound. But the funny thing is if I check the headphones in the control room with that cable I just made, sounds fine. I can go out to where it feeds into the snake, which is about 20 feet of XLR cables and stuff, and it still sounds fine. No noise, no nothing. I plug it into the snake, and then I take that adapter and listen to it, and I think it's okay. Don't really have any noise, but if I unplug the headphone amp from the snake and I listen to that sounds fine. But when I plug it into the snake, even without anything on the other end of that snake, it's wheezing on me. And that's telling me that you ever had those there's a lot of these mic snakes out there where, they look pretty robust from the outside, but if you really ever have to cut open one of those wires and look at it, there's no real jacket. There's just some foil hanging around the outside of a ground drain and the two signal wires inside. And I have a feeling that those grounds are just talking right to each other. They're probably touching each other. Who knows? And I'm getting that wheeze. I'm getting some noise. That is driving me nuts. I think I got to take apart that snake. But I'd like to know if you guys know what snakes are out there that actually use like individual jackets the whole way, like not this cheap, like just this weird foil that's around it that just falls right off, and they they end up touching each other. And I mean, especially with stuff like phantom power. And, one of the things that was really weird is if I unplugged this, there's a mic cable that if I plugged it in, I'd get a bunch of noise, but nothing was on the other end of that mic cable. So that's all picking up. That's picking up noise in the line without it coming from an actual active source, which is just bonkers, man. It's always something. So I think I got some other mic snakes, but if I have to buy one that's better shielded, I will. But one of the things that's really tripping me out is if I press the XLR release on some of the channels on the snake, all the noises go away. I don't know if that means all the signal goes away because I didn't actually have a signal to play through it at the time. I'm going to check that. But if the signal still plays, that's really telling me that there's some shielding shenanigans going on in there. And so, yeah, I'd probably like a different snake. I know one of my friends was able to find a couple at Guitar Center, and oh man, still kind of tripping out how bare these shelves are, huh? It's not just Guitar Center; it's kind of all over the place as well. Okay. So last week, right after I did my show, actually, we did a virtual concert kind of thing. Normally we have a lot of bands come over for my birthday party, and we all, they have bands playing, we stream it all night and whatever. We couldn't really do that this year, so we kind of kept putting it off and decided to do a Halloween stream, but still really couldn't do a party. I did, I invited people to be outside. I brought some PA speakers outside, but we had bands playing by themselves in the big room and streaming. And it actually turned out pretty good. I'm really happy with the sounds, and oh man, let me get to an aside here. You know how many times we do these shows, I did how many streams where you just show mixing drums and just beating the crap out of yourself in order to get a good drum sound. And then sometimes it's no trouble at all. And it's like the same stuff. We had different drummers that night, and I didn't change anything because, there's not any real time to change anything. But some drums sounded awesome coming out those PA speakers, and some sounded horrible. We didn't change anything. We didn't change the drums. We didn't change the mics. Didn't change the levels. Didn't change the mix. Didn't change anything. All we did is change the drummer. And this is one of those lessons that keeps coming back to me in life is like, hey, not to pass the buck, but sometimes, you can't take credit for the super awesome takes. You can't take credit for the epic fails either, and sometimes you got to cut yourself a break, but you still got to make it sound good. But it would just trip me out that in this case it was effortless to make it sound good, right out the PA speakers, which led me to ask, and again, how many shows have we had about asking things on forum or Facebook, and all the knotheads come and just pile on and don't answer the question you asked, but tell you what an idiot you are instead. I kind of wanted to put some monitors in my room as an alternate that sounded like PA speakers, because, hey, PA speakers have this hard kind of sound to them, and I really, sometimes I forget just what it sounds like. I mean, I'll have stuff to me that sounds better on my iPad, sounds better in my car, my van's like not even car stereo system. It sounds better than on my monitors. And I got to remember that, that sound that I'm listening for, it's actually the sound of very goofball speakers. So I gotta know what that sounds like on my normal stuff, and me and my mastering engineers have had such a long relationship that I know what's going to end up sounding like that based on what it sounds like in here. But still yet, I want to sometimes just have that feeling of the PA speakers hitting. So I wasn't sure, like, what kind of monitors out there kind of sound like PA speakers, or should I just put some PA speakers in my room? It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to sound good. It's not going to be right. The room's too small for them and everything else, but it's just one more reference source. Nobody's going to die, right? But if there is something small that's kind of hyped and crazy like that, really hard sounding, And like I gotta say, it wasn't about the volume because my I definitely have my monitors in here up way louder than I've had those PA speakers out up there. So it's not volume. It's just probably that smiley face scoop they have on these PA speakers, and just those tweeters, those hard tweeters that just crack on you. You know, I think they're probably distorting, man. But that's what it is. The virtual concert things has been going so good for us that I know that there are actually people who are making a business of it. They're actually doing it. I don't think that we want to get to be those guys, but we are opening up the place so that people can do this because, you know, I can easily record them. I can stream them. I can handle all that. And my cousin saw how it went, and he just wanted to start doing it every week, you know, so I think we're going to do that. And I guess what I need from you guys is for you guys who have actually got this stuff figured out. I know some of you selling like e-tickets to shows and everything, virtual shows. You know, this is kind of cool. If you're doing that, let me know because I want to put you in touch with we have a band that's coming on Black Friday, at least one band, and they're willing to, you know. Listen, you know, this is a new world. Nobody knows anything, and everybody's got to make up the rules as they go along. It's always been that way, but I think people feel it more now, so there's more of a exclamation mark on that now. So, you know, some of you guys have been figuring it out, and it's a moving target. But if you can help understand how to set those things up business-wise, I've got the technology side down, I think. You know, I could always learn more, but business-wise, let me know because I'd like to put you in touch with one of these bands and see if they can't make this, you know, something that happens once a month, once a week, whatever. That'd be really cool. Really enjoying these virtual concerts, actually. It's a lot less hassle than dragging all the gear out to board riders or whatever. For you guys on DistroKid, we're doing more and more and more on DistroKid. And I think we actually got 3 songs out this week. 3 songs on the radio this month. Yeah, in a space of a month or a month and a half or something, 3 songs. You know, DistroKid's handling part of it. The performance rights organizations are handling part of it. I still need some advice about DistroKid. You guys that are running it hard, let me know because I have some serious questions still yet. Okay. Also started yet another programming class. I know I keep taking these things. Some of them I pass with flying colors and you know, certification and everything, but I still don't know how to program. You know, think about how many decades the best programmers in the world have held my hand through this stuff, and it just doesn't take. This time we're doing stuff with Unity and C#. And, man, I am so jealous. Like, if you've ever opened up the Unity editor and the way you link classes and objects and everything together, it's visual. Like, it's actually like you got a patch bay of code, and you're putting patch cables between them, and you know you still got to do a lot of coding, and I'm failing at that part, of course. I still don't really understand the syntax or even the philosophy of object-oriented programming all that well. But man, I am getting a lot done, and I'm so jealous. I wish we had something like this in audio. We've got the Pro Juicer, but you got to know so much. But I guess when you're a real programmer, you really just think this stuff, and it's not that big of a deal. But holy crap, it just makes it feel so much more possible. Like, it's not hopeless the way this C# thing is, or the way the Unity editor and C# go. And the other part is they got this asset store. Okay, so like let's say you're making a game. They already have physics. They got gravity. They got the way things collide. Like, so much is done for you. Like, you don't have to start from scratch and rebuild the whole damn thing every single time. So then you look inside their asset store and they have all this audio stuff. The audio junk you got to build from scratch all the time. I mean, it's just nuts. I am so jealous of this stuff. But, and you know, I still don't understand like the kind of the save as kind of thing, how it works on programming. You know, I always end up trying to experiment, and then I end up blowing the whole thing. So I've got to learn GitHub. I need GitHub help. I'm going to watch some more videos on GitHub, and hopefully it'll take this time. I've always had, since there's been GitHub, I've had my own GitHub repositories, but I'm never able to do it right. I always end up breaking something. So hopefully this time it's gonna take. Oh, but you hear me yawning. I am falling behind on life. This is taking 45 hours a week or whatever officially, and then how much more after that. I'm not riding during the daytime, which is kind of killing me, and I'm so tired by like 5 o'clock that I don't really want to ride, and then I'm not getting my mixes done, and I'm not getting other stuff done. So if you're waiting on me, I got to catch up. Hopefully this week will be more realistic. But it's something that I've had for, it's been creeping up at least 10 years. There was a time when I was like a sponge for information, and people knew I could, if I didn't know the answer for something, I could find probably where to find the answer. This is even before the internet. I would just I'd hit libraries. If I could get to a college, I would just run through their library, and sometimes it's just at random. Most of the time I was looking for audio stuff or herpetology stuff, but sometimes it's just random. I'd see a book and I'd just read it, and I used to just absorb and absorb and absorb. But for the last 10 years, and I know partly it's because my eyes are going weird, but it's just so much harder for me to focus on stuff. So there's a fog that's kind of keeping me from getting this programming done. But I also noticed that, I used to be able to edit drums all day long. Now I fall asleep while I'm doing it. And so, I don't know, who knows? There's some fog that's just beating me up, and I don't really know. You think about how much exercise I get. That's usually the suggestion they have for a partial cure is more exercise. I'm getting plenty of exercise. I'm getting sleep. I don't know. I need some anti-fog advice. It's just really hard to learn nowadays. I did get both of my Focusrite. Okay, I got my Scarlet Octoprix, the one that was bad. I sent it back to Focusrite. Scarlet Octoprix Dynamic. It was making noise on 2 of the channels. It was only like a month or 2 old. I sent it back to Focusrite, and they sent it back. I mean, it was like, it wasn't even a week, I don't think, when I sent it. And I got it back a couple days ago, and actually they sent me a new one. I looked, the serial number is different. Fine, I'll take the new one. But I had also ordered one from Guitar Center because I don't want to ever be caught out again. And after I ordered it, they couldn't find the one I ordered. I think I talked about this before. But they did find an open box one in Kentucky or something. I got it, came the same day. I just tested them both out now. I'm using the open box one right now. It's what I'm talking through. It seems to be working fine. But I think we talked about this. The Motu 896 that I was using, which is really a 26 channel audio interface, 24, 26, 32, something. It's a lot of channels, audio interface, USB, whose USB drivers I don't quite like as much. It doesn't remind me of the old Motu stuff anyway. But anyway, works great as an audio analog to digital converter and as a digital to analog converter, and has word in and out. So, I don't have to fight that stupid fight. Its mic preamps, I think, are actually better than these Focusrite ones. They definitely have more gain, because right now I'm talking to this RE20, which requires a ton of gain, and I'm way close to it right now. And I've got this, I've got the gain almost, it might be full up actually. So, I'm running the mic preamp full out, which is kind of freaking me out. The Motu was actually, I wasn't even all the way up on the gain. So, yeah, I don't know. If Motu wanted to go and make mic preamps again, I'd probably buy them. But, of course, Focusrite has done so much for my career, so much for the kids at this school. Has been a great friend to Reaper. So I'll probably just keep getting the Focusrite stuff. But the Focusrite, man, I could use more gain in these things, please. But the way these things are now, I checked the new Scarlett Octopre's, the ones that don't have digital to analog converters on them. You know, how many shows have we done about word clock and what a pain it can be. Those ones had undefeatable terminators on their word clock input, which makes it so that I have to have two 20-year-old clocks at this school, one in the big room and one in my control room. These old word clock generators and splitters and distributors and all that stuff. I don't want these things. So the newest Scarlett Octopre's have word clock in and out, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. So if I could, I've got, what do I have? I have 3 or 4 of those Octopre's, the regular ones, the Mark IIs, and now I've got 3 of these other things. I could almost get rid of those Octopre's if I really wanted to, because I wouldn't have to fight the word clock anymore. I'd be thinking about that, or maybe I can sell these Octopre Mark IIs off at a substantial loss and get some of the newer Octopre's that actually have the word clock in and out, and then stop fighting this nonsense. I really don't like my studio to be relying on 20-year-old word clocks. That's just insane to me. But I do have some options now, thankfully. So we'll think about that. And like I said, this one's not going to be too long. I've been doing whiteboards lately, but I had a very hard time getting a camera in the right place, and especially with shadows and glare and everything else and lighting. And so I tried doing it on an iPad where you write with a stylus on an iPad. That actually turned out really well, but I don't want to pay $400 or whatever it is for an iPad with the stylus to do that. That seems insane to me. I don't know how often I'll be doing the whiteboarding. But on the other hand, I do have to get a tablet of some sort in order to control our XR18 if our kids ever actually go out and play shows again. And so if there's an Android tablet or something that I could use to do this, let me know. I have to be able to draw okay on it. I'd like it so that it knows that I can put my hand down without it messing things up. But if I have to, what's the cheapest iPad I could get used? Let me know. That'll still work with a stylus. But somebody on the OBS forum had the suggestion to get a document camera, and that looked really good. It's like a little square base, and then it has a camera up above it, a USB camera, and you can just whiteboard right off it. So I ordered one off of Amazon, and I'll tell you, not to recreate Glenn Fricker's mouse video, his Amazon experience there. This was the Okio Cam S, I think, and it looked really good. And so I put it together, started it up, and the video was just glitching all over the place. I chatted with Amazon. I'll be sending this thing back. They're supposedly sending me a new one, but chances are this thing's going to break again. I saw in the reviews that people had the same problem. So if you guys know a document camera that's cheap, this thing was like $60 or something cheap that still works, let me know. I would like to get that, because that seems like the best solution for the whiteboard stuff, and other things. Like I could have it for soldering and all kinds of fun stuff. So, anyways, that's it for that. Let me let me get out of here. And I will talk to you guys next week. I need to get some sleep because this programming is just beating the crap